on to you, crew? This is part 2 of episode 9 of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We recorded with the boys and OgDaBeast. He was an amazing guest. Make sure to go follow all of his socials. We get into some more NFL talk in this episode. We're getting into some injury talk, some division predictions, and some Aaron Rodgers drama. Quick disclaimer, we recorded this before all of that drama or the fallout of that drama transpired, so we didn't know quite all the information that was going to come out of it. So it was a little bit outdated, but nonetheless, it's still a great episode for you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Let's get into the episode.
We're going to switch over from the NBA over to the NFL now. And there's some big news that needs to be talked about. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week. We're going to kick it off with the Packers situation with Aaron Rodgers. Davante Adams has broken off his contract extension talks with the Packers, but they're both posting pictures of the last dance type stuff. Luke, since you're a Packers fan, I think we're going to kick this one off with you and see what you got to say.
Can we not? Can we just
give Luke a second to breathe. Give Luke a second to breathe.
It's crazy. It's crazy how all of it came out yesterday too. It was like one after the other. It was like first Davante Adams not re-signing, Zadarius Smith wants a trade, and then I got a message that Pascal Siakam wants a trade. All two of my favorite teams, just everybody gone. Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird position being a Packers fan right now because I don't really know what to say. I don't really know what to do. Everything's sort of crumbling down around me, and it sucks. But here's the thing. Davante Adams wants to be the highest paid receiver in the game. The Packers don't have money. The Packers are negative 34 or 34 million in cap space right now. And they already have one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, Aaron Rodgers. They have one of the highest paid left tackles in the league, highest paid nose tackle in the league. They just gave Aaron Jones a big contract. They're going to need to pay Jair Alexander, Zadarius Smith. How many superstars can you have on your team? Not a lot.
They should have held off on Aaron Jones, man.
Aaron Jones, yeah.
I said it. I made a video about it. He doesn't have
what did you draft Dylan for?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a huge cap hit this season. It's like $4.5 million, but in 2023, that jumps up to $19.25 million, which for a running back, that's a lot.
Yeah. I think they're going to probably restructure it. In a few years. I think that's the plan. But they just want to move money everywhere down the line.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Jones necessarily has a lot to do with it, at least right now, because he's not making a lot of money. But it's mainly just management, poor management. The GM, Brian Gutekunst, Mark Murphy, you guys are fucking bozos, okay? How could you let it get this bad? Like, I made a TikTok the other day. I know our old general manager, Ted Thompson, rest in peace. I know he got a lot of shit because the Packers would never go out and get free agents ever. They got Julius Peppers, they got Charles Woodson, and that's it in like this whole past decade.
That's not too shabby, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. But the two free agents they hit on. But yeah, I don't think he would have ever let that get to this point. Aaron Rodgers, who knows if he shows up to training camp next week. I like to think that Aaron Rodgers is sort of just pulling the strings behind the scenes and he's manipulating the media. None of this is real. And he just wants to show how stupid the media could be at sometimes, blowing up every rumor out of proportion, because yesterday that's what it was. It was every rumor got blown out of proportion. Aaron Rodgers, he renewed his golf membership. He's coming back to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he's working out with David Bakhtiari. Must mean he's coming back. Like, I'm over it at this point. I kind of want it to be over with. If we're going to have
Does anybody know how many years both of them got left on a contract? Aaron Rodgers and Tay Adams?
Rodgers has 2 years after this upcoming season, but none of those years have any guaranteed money. And Davante Adams this is his contract year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Aaron Rodgers has 3 years left. Damn. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Us three have talked about this extensively, with us talking all the time and everything. But OG, where do you think it goes from here? Do you think that Aaron Rodgers plans to come back? Or, what do you think happens?
With 3 years left on his contract, listen, all Aaron Rodgers wants, in my opinion, is a defense that's going to turn the ball over and get some stops. Like, Aaron Rodgers, how many times he had a top 10 defense in the league? I can't recall. But all I know is when he
really?
Right, that's what I'm saying. And one of those times he went to the Super Bowl. So it's like, and when you put Tom Brady in positions, I'm sure he's watching his peers around him like, damn, I wish my defense was like that. The Bucs got it going on over there. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that the Packers don't have some solid individual talented players, but just to put it together, what did the Packers rank, like 14th? in defense last year.
Last year was one of their top 10 seasons. They ranked 10th.
What did they rank 10th? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they really picked it up toward the end, though. I feel like it was a bit of inconsistency where they were, not so great early on in the season, and then like the last third, they really got good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. If I was Aaron Rodgers, what is he, 37, 38 years old?
Mm-hmm.
I think he just wants some stability on the opposite side of the ball, because it seems to be he's always put in positions to where he has to be the hero. And if he doesn't, then he gets blamed for why the Packers lose. So if you put him in position where he could just, play catch with Davante Adams and get some dubs, he made it look easy in the regular season, but it's always easy in the regular season. When you get to those playoffs, it's like, man, like, can we get some stops? Can we get some turnovers? Can somebody other than me make a play?
Yeah.
And the Packers leaned a lot on Aaron Rodgers. And I think, not to get off subject, but that's what Matt Stafford's issue was with Detroit. They just terrible. They lean on him way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and with him, I don't know if it has something to do. I want to believe that it has something to do with the defense not being as good as he wants it to be, that you need to succeed, in the playoffs. But half of me says a lot of the rumors been about the Jordan Love situation, which he should really not be mad about, considering that's the way he got his job. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is consistent with how the Packers operate.
I think it's a little different. Okay, because they traded up for Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers fell to them. Aaron Rodgers was waiting.
Didn't they trade up to get Aaron? They didn't trade up to get Aaron Rodgers?
Nope. No? He fell to them. And Brett Favre was getting old. They intentionally traded up for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Well, they like what they saw in the kid, and they made a move to get him. And it's like, I don't think, even if you trade up or not, I don't even think Aaron Rodgers should be so secure in himself that he shouldn't worry about who's behind him.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league. Why are you worried about this kid who could potentially be here to, you know why he's here. You know why they drafted him. Same reason they drafted you in the first round.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just, I hope it's about the opposite side of the ball. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I think, go ahead, Gage.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, we've been talking about it forever now. So it's been like a long time coming. We talked about this on the first episode of the podcast. This is episode 9. So it's been over 2 months that this stuff's been going on. It's craziness. Jake, go ahead. You can say whatever you say.
Yeah, this has been the offseason of the Packers. I mean, I have I can only define this Packers situation as a shit show, because it's just the disconnect between the management and the players, I think, is on display here. Like, I don't think this has anything to do, because it's a talented team all around. Like, you look at the team on paper. I mean, if somebody didn't know the GM, somebody didn't know what the players' personalities and all that shit, they look at this, they know football, they look at the team on paper.
No doubt.
Yeah, there should be no problem with this team. They got everybody. They got a top tier corner.
Back NFC championships.
Yeah, they got defensive linemen, they got pass rushers, they got offensive linemen, they got a top tier wide receiver, quarterback, running backs. Like, they got everything. And I just think that there is something going on internally that between the management and the players, and Aaron Rodgers is heading that we just don't know. And I think Aaron Rodgers is trying to put that on display, like, to everybody, that there is. You don't think the nose
of that, though, is because of the Jordan Love thing? Like,
I think Jordan Love has a lot to do with that, because Aaron Rodgers, I completely agree. He should be more secure in himself, that this shouldn't even be affecting him.
Exactly.
That, this is on him for that. But Aaron Rodgers is that kind of selfish personality. Like, he's got that ego. He's got that personality where, like,
the way that I look at it is, like, the faucet was dripping, and it's been dripping for a long time. And then the Jordan Love thing opened it up a little bit more. And then the Jake Kumaro thing opened it up a little bit more. And then, with the way that the NFC championship turned out, and, they could have potentially won it if they go for it. All that stuff, I feel like, has just been piling on top of it. And now the faucet's completely on, and nobody knows what's going on. It's all internal stuff that is going to get either sorted out, or things are going to just completely fizzle, but we'll have to see what happens.
I don't think it gets sorted out, because, like, if they came out and said that Aaron Rodgers, the Packers came with a contract, like, hey, you're going to be the highest payer in NFL. You're going to be a highest paid player in NFL history. Here you go. Sign this contract. And Aaron Rodgers didn't want it. And then they got Davante Adams. I know they were offering him a shit ton of money. I think there was a little more of a disconnect with those contract negotiations, but, like, I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers wants this to get fixed. I think he's already set on play this year and leave.
I will say there is a lot of time between now and next year's offseason to where they could resolve things with either or both of them. But I think this goes a lot deeper than just Jordan Love. Like, I think Jordan Love was the straw that broke the camel's back, but I think it goes back to 2018 when their GM got brought in, Brian Gutekunst. His first move was to get rid of Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers' best friend and his best
he was
receiver.
mad about that one.
Yeah. And he made all these moves. And on top of that, when Mark Murphy, the team president, hired Brian Gutekunst from inside the organization, he didn't go with an outside hire. He gave himself more power in doing so because now Matt LaFleur and everything that he does runs directly to Mark Murphy instead of Brian Gutekunst. There's no middleman there. And players didn't take kindly to that. And I think Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams are two players that didn't like that. And you know what? Davante Adams.
But the Jordy Nelson thing wasn't even a bad call, though. He had like one more season in Oakland, and then he was gone.
Yeah,
I think it more so had to do with that Aaron Rodgers had such a special connection with him, and the season. It was 2017. After the 2017 is where he got cut. 2017, Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone, so it's like he never really got to have that last ride with Jordy Nelson.
I think it's the communication behind it, really, and I think
that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah,
they didn't let him know.
A lot of the things here is not talking to Aaron Rodgers, him not being a part of the conversations that are being had with Jordy Nelson, with Jordan Love, with all this different stuff going on. He just has no say in anything. He's just along for the ride.
I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Luke, but I don't think he had. I think he was pissed because he didn't have a say in the coaching hire either. I don't think he said that he wanted Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, I don't think
it ended up working out though.
I think their relationship got blown out of proportion. Like, oh, Aaron Rodgers hates Matt LaFleur. No, he doesn't. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just gonna have to see how the Aaron Rodgers thing plays out. Obviously, it's been dragging on for a while. I don't know that we're gonna see any resolve anytime soon. But big news today with another guy that wants off his team, Chandler Jones, all-pro pass rusher for the Cardinals, has requested a trade. He's reporting to camp still, but he's not happy with the contract talks and stuff like that. I mean, who do you guys think could use him? Do you think that they end up resolving this in any way, shape, or form, or do you think it's past that point?
If I'm Chandler, man, what the hell are you trying to leave for?
Yeah.
Like, you are on a team with a bright immediate future. Like, not 5 years down the line. Like, I know Chandler's up there in age a little bit, but bro, you like JJ Watt, like you got a great offense. You know, where are you gonna go? To me, that's the only, like, there's only a handful of teams that are really serious Super Bowl contenders. And I'm like, Arizona is like the closest to being right on that borderline to where you like, okay, you know, they can be dangerous. Because I think week in and week out, Arizona can be some trouble. And you could be a big assist to that. Both of you guys coming off the edge, you know, JJ could play anywhere, but primarily Chandler coming off the edge and bro, Isaiah Simmons, and, you know, they got rid of Pat Pete, but they got some talented guys on that defensive side of the ball. So I don't know where the hell he potentially could want to go or what he's trying to do, but this is confusing the hell out of me.
Yeah, I think he thinks that he's not gonna be on the team anymore after next season. But it's weird because if the Cardinals have JJ Watt in their long-term plans, why would they not have Chandler Jones in their long-term plans as well? Why wouldn't they offer him a contract, you know? And Chandler Jones, honestly, he's better than JJ Watt at this point in their careers. I know he was injured last year, but he perennial like sack leader, or at least in the top 3 pro bowler. I just think it's a weird situation. A team that I'd like to see him go to, the Titans. The Titans never, ever have a good pass rush, never have a good front seven, seemingly ever. They tried out the Jadeveon Clowney experiment last year. Didn't really work out all too well.
At all.
So I'd like to see him go on Titans maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I was just as confused as anybody when I heard about that. I guess it is. Yeah, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent in 2022. But yeah, the Cardinals should give him his money. I mean, he's got a $20 million cap hit this year. Cardinals need to give him his money. I mean, he's not that old. He just turned 31 like a month ago. Mm-hmm. So, and defensive, like, edge rushers can go until they're like 35, 36 and be in their prime until they're like 33. So, and Chandler Jones has proven to you, I know he was injured all of last year, but he's proven enough to you that he's going to be top 5 in sacks pretty much every year. Yeah. But, if this doesn't end, and if I'm Chandler Jones, by the way, I'm doing everything in my power to stay on this team.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I mean, this team is up and coming. You got some young talent. You got Buda Baker, Kyler Murray. I mean, you got D Hop, and now you got AJ Green. You got Christian Kirk on the offense. You got I mean, just talent all over the place. Now you bring in JJ Watt. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing everything to stay on this team because this team has a bright future. But if he doesn't, and he is pissed at the Cardinals for not wanting to sign him, I know a team that's right up north that plays them twice a year. If you want to come to the Seahawks, come on down. We need some pass rushers, and that would be just a match. Yeah, that would be a match made in heaven.
I mean, trading within the division, though, I don't know about all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pretty much go with the consensus here. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it whatsoever. They bring in JJ, even with the contract extension talks, if they're not necessarily, talking about giving you the things that you want monetarily, they're obviously trying to help you out by bringing in a guy like JJ Watt, because he's not going to do anything but help you out. He's going to make you better. He's going to make your job easier. So I just don't get it. I mean, it would be one thing if it was like the Devontae Adams situation where it's like they just broke off extension talks. They're not talking about it anymore right now because they weren't getting anywhere with it. So they just decided to hold off and then, play this season and then extend him or whatever the case may be. But to request a trade, it just doesn't feel right. Something is obviously off. Either he's being petty about it, or they offered him something that really he felt was disrespectful or something like that. That's the only thing that makes sense
confused.
To me.
Yeah. And he recruited JJ Watt too. Like, he was one of the biggest reasons why JJ Watt is on the Cardinals right now.
Now let me just
gotta be upstairs, man.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so that all happened this week, and then we have got some big injuries, unfortunately. We have got an injury to Cam Akers, second-year running back for the Rams. He ruptured his Achilles. He is going to be out the entire season. I know a lot of people were looking to him in fantasy. A lot of people were looking to him for just a big season, especially after he finished last season very well. This sucks really bad, especially as a guy that really loves fantasy. This is horrible. Luke, you were just talking about how you thought he was going to be fantastic last episode, and then this happens. So, I mean, how do you guys think the Rams fare in this situation? Do you think that they go out and get a free agent? Jake, you want to go ahead and start this one off?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this sucks, especially for fantasy wise. I was kind of targeting Cam Akers, but yeah. I mean, it sucks for the Rams. That's one more thing that Matt Stafford, has to deal with, not having that running back, because Cam Akers really came on the scene as much as any running back at the end of last year. I mean, he was rolling. He really separated himself from Darrell Henderson there in LA. I mean, he was going to come into the season clear cut number one, going to get all the carries. And LA needed that, especially. You can't, I feel like Matt Stafford's going to be good, but I feel like he has so much pressure on him this year that having that really talented running back would take a little bit of that pressure off of him, and especially open up the offense a little more for him to make some better throws. But yeah, I mean, this sucks. Hopefully Darrell Henderson, I mean, he's capable. He's not as talented in any way, shape, or form as Cam Akers, but I think the Rams will be fine, but I mean, Cam Akers really put them over the top with that offense. So that's kind of that sucks that he's going to miss the year with an Achilles injury.
Yeah, I sort of grouped up Cam Akers with like the Jonathan Taylors sort of group with those rookie running backs, because I thought he was going to take that next step and be that good. He's one of the more elusive running backs in the league that can also lay the boom and can truck people as well. He reminds me of a little bit of a faster version of Nick Chubb almost. Very tall. He has an NFL build. It sucks because the Achilles, it could just go at any time, just pop off at any time. And it's a terrible injury. It's going to take about 9-month recovery. So we'll see him hopefully by next training camp. But like you guys said, it's just an unfortunate situation, especially to a Super Bowl contending team for the Rams. I mean, they have a top 3 defense, and they're probably going to have a top 10 offense with Matt Stafford at the helm now. It's a blow to them for sure. It's a blow to my Super Bowl prediction because I have the Rams in the Super Bowl. Maybe they'll pick up a free agent. Todd Gurley reunion, maybe. Anybody? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one too. But Todd Gurley was the first name I thought about because he's out there floating around. Mm-hmm. But as for Cam Akers, it's like it happens to Stafford again. He's never really had a bell cow that he can lean on, and Cam Akers was going to be the guy to get 200, 250 carries next season. And now that is gone, it's like where do you go from here? Stafford is back in the same situation. Not, of course, not all around, but from face value that he was in Detroit. Theo Reddick, never really having somebody that, like I say, a bell cow guy that you could lean on for 200 to 250 carries. But it's sad to see Cam Akers. Like I say, I was targeting him in fantasy too. He was projected to go like early second round. I was targeting him too. And I think this does hurt the Rams a lot more than people think, because I don't think people understand how good Cam Akers actually is. And I think they will feel this. It's not just going to be like, oh, well, we'll just fill him in.
Yeah.
Nah, they're going to feel this. I'm not saying they're going to miss the playoffs or something like that, but it's definitely going to hurt. And I wouldn't be surprised if it cost them some games.
Yeah, you made a really good point about the Lions, because you don't really think about it a whole lot, but they've never had that solid guy at running back. It's constantly been a carousel. There's been guys in and out of there almost constantly. Like just thinking of names off the top of my head, it looks. Have you ever seen the picture of like that Browns jersey where they put the tape and write the name of every quarterback?
That's what it is.
That's what the Lions. Yeah, that's what the Lions running back situation has felt like for a long, long time.
They never had a bell cow.
Yeah, but they've said that they don't really have any interest in signing a free agent right now, that they're comfortable with all the guys that they have in their running back room. And I get that to an extent. Henderson shows some flashes where he could be decent for them last season. But I have also heard through the grapevine that they reached out to Le'Veon Bell's management, just, I guess, getting in contact, just potentially seeing what could happen. Do you guys think that Le'Veon Bell would be a good choice for that? Do you think that, go ahead,
Not
OG.
at all.
I don't know.
I don't. Go ahead.
I think if anybody can rejuvenate Le'Veon Bell's career, it's Sean McVay. I think we could all agree. He's one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. And you saw him early on in his stint with the Rams, where he had Todd Gurley, where he had that running back who could, have 250 plus carries, but it could also catch out of the backfield. I feel like they're going to need that sort of guy, especially for Matt Stafford, so he could just, get quick passes out of the backfield. I'd like to see Todd Gurley there, or not Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell.
I think Le'Veon is done. And I think his best years are behind him, of course, with his age and where he's at in his career and how many carries he carried with the Steelers. But they're more of a zone read type of run style, and I think Le'Veon's a little bit too patient. Not to say that you don't have to have patience to run this type of offense, but with a north and south offense that they kind of run, I like Henderson. I want to give him a shot, see what he can bring. He can lay the wood. And I think he's deserving of an opportunity. He was a little inconsistent with health last year. All of them were pretty much for the whole season, including Cam. But I like where they're going with it. Give him an opportunity. See what he does. You never know. You might get a one-hit wonder out of the deal, and maybe he can salvage what Cam was going to potentially bring to you. So I think bringing in a free agent that's high caliber, like a Ty Gurley, whatever. But like a Le'Veon Bell who's going to draw too much attention, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Give Henderson a shot. I think he deserved it, and let's see where it goes.
I think that, I agree. And I would have to say that if it's comparable to any type of situation, I almost feel like the Rams are kind of going for like a 49ers kind of situation, where they've really been building their running back room for a while now and kind of working on getting those younger guys in there. And I feel like, Henderson is that next guy up that can do what you were talking about, OG, but I really like the guys behind him as well. But we're going to go ahead and move on from that. We've got another injury, unfortunately. Michael Thomas, this has been a lingering injury. He had surgery on it back in June. As a Saints fan, this sucks. I absolutely hate it. But what happened supposedly is that he talked to doctors and they were like, you need to go ahead and get surgery on this now. He waited. He tried to rehab it himself. He doesn't end up getting surgery on it until June. He comes to camp and the doctors are like, you're not where you need to be at all. And they're projecting that he could miss about half the season with this injury.
No doubt. They said 14 to 16 weeks on this injury post-surgery. That's going to put you like, week 9.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, good for the Packers week 1 matchup versus the Saints. I'm liking that.
Give Jordan Love some confidence real quick.
Listen, this may cause them guys to miss the playoffs, man. Like, this is big. I don't know. Look, I got all the confidence in Sean Payton. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, top 3, if you ask me. You know, and it's like he's toying with us with what he can do with these quarterbacks. But how long is this sustainable? You know, how long can you put a Band-Aid on things and you know and wait to rip it off? I think that only lasts so long. And this is a hit. You got no Drew Brees, you know, and now you coming into the season with a Jameis Winston, even though he's had his LASIK and his eyes are fixed, so to speak, and everything is supposed to be A1. You know, we've yet to see it, though. I love me some Jameis, but I don't know if I could depend on him to take this team to the playoffs without arguably a top 5 receiver and Michael Thomas. Who are they throwing the ball to now?
Yeah, I was looking for them to, you know, I was looking for whoever is going to step into that quarterback role, whether it be Jameis or Taysom, whichever one ends up winning the battle, to have Michael Thomas to go to get them in, you know, their comfort zone, to get them to a point where they feel like they can perform as the next starter for this team. And I had confidence that we could probably make it back to the playoffs with this team that we have, because we still have a young core. Right now, I feel like the only hope for this team as far as making the playoffs or making a decent run, I don't think we're going to be god awful and be picking like in the top 5 or anything like that next draft. But I think the only hope is that our young guys step up. Traquan Smith's been there a few years now. He's ready to have that breakout season. I think Jameis and him have been putting in a lot of work this offseason. Apparently, we've got Juwan Johnson, who moved from receiver to tight end because of his size, and he's getting, you know, a bunch of ranting and raving in camp so far that he's been playing very well. Even CGJ said that he's a mini Calvin Johnson, which I know is an overreaction, but I'm going to take it and enjoy it while I can. And then we've got like Adam Troutman, who's going to be the TE1 this season after being TE3, and he put up some great production even at that position last year. So I think that we've got some good young guys.
And you guys lose that defensive end too?
Trey Hendrickson.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's going to hurt us. But we've got Marcus Davenport, and I have some faith in him. I feel like he's got the potential to, basically what I'm getting at is we've got a lot of pieces that could be very good, but they're just young, and it's like their ceiling feels high, but we're going to be banking
on them. It's a wait and see thing.
Yeah, we're going to be banking on them a lot, and I don't know. It's really a gamble. It could turn out that we're very, very good and we can make the playoffs, or we're going to be on the other end of the spectrum and it's going to be just an abysmal season for us.
Yeah, I will say one thing. I think, listen, if you could get Alvin Kamara in fantasy this year, you fucking take him. You fucking take him.
No doubt about that.
You want to know who's going to be the number 1 receiver on that team right now? For the first 9 weeks, it's going to be Alvin Kamara. Guaranteed. Like, Sean Payton's going to find so many different ways to get Alvin Kamara the ball, because I don't think he's going to rely on Traquan Smith being his number 1 wide receiver. I think it's the shit he's going to do with Alvin Kamara this year is going to be unseen. It's going to be insane.
I think this upcoming season's really going to be a testament to Sean Payton's legacy, because the offense from last year going into this year is going to change like a complete 180. You had Drew Brees with his limp, spaghetti arm, short passes out of the backfield. Sorry.
Kick me while I'm down.
Short passes out of the backfield to Kamara, let him run it. And then you had Slant Boy, Michael Thomas, or Slant Boy. The true slant. Real talk. The true Slant Boy was.
This is coming from the Packers fan. This is coming from the guy that we don't know. This is quarterback's going to leave and host
Jeopardy. I love
Jeopardy.
it when people call him Slant Boy, man, because it's like that's just you. By calling him Slam Boy, you do realize you calling him one of the greatest wide receivers in the league at the same time, right?
No, I'm saying the real Slant Boy was Drew Brees, because he couldn't throw it down the field.
Okay.
Couldn't let Michael Thomas really run some, more expert routes. But now with Jameis at the helm, like, I'm expecting him to be the quarterback 1 for pretty much the majority of the season. He's more so used to that, like, going back to his Tampa Bay days, that run and gun sort of offense, that throw it down the field, throw it up to Michael Thomas, deep passes all the time. That's why he had the 30 for 30 season. I'm really interested in to see how this offense is going to run. I think if anybody can really, chisel out Jameis Winston and make him be a great quarterback, like, I think he has potential. I think it's going to be Sean Payton. Let's see it happen.
If anybody can do it, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the thing that made Jameis Winston is the fact that he likes to take chances. And I think that was what was going to bode well for Michael Thomas. We're going to see a different version of him now, the guy that can actually win some 50-50s. Because what makes Breeze is he don't take too many chances. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, we're throwing it away. You know, that's why his completion percentage is so high. Every year in and year out, it's through the roof. It's godly because he don't take chances. He's checking down. He's West Coast. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I got a feeling we was going to see Michael Thomas that was going to shake the league up. But this is unfortunate, man.
Hopefully we'll be in a position that we can see it late in the season and, you know, see what they can do, maybe going into a playoff run or something like that. But that was all news, surprisingly, out of the NFC. That was all news coming from the NFC. The NFC is in a bad place right now, apparently, because we've got all these guys wanting out and getting hurt, this and that. But we're going to get into some NFC predictions with all that being said, and this might shake it up a little bit. But let's get right into it, boys. I think we're going to start with the North, and I'm going to kick it off with that. I'm going to give my prediction, then we can go around and you guys can give your predictions. I'm going to work from the bottom to the top. At the bottom of the division, I've got the Detroit Lions. I don't feel like that's too crazy. I don't feel like that's a hot take by any means. Then I've got the Chicago Bears. Then I've got the Minnesota Vikings. I think that they're going to take a big step up this season. They're getting some guys back from injury, and I really like what they're bringing to the table as far as their draft and stuff like that. And then assuming that Aaron Rodgers does decide to return, I have got the Green Bay Packers winning that division. My MVP is going to be Aaron Rodgers because if he does come back for the last dance, I think that he's going to blow the top off of this thing. And then my breakout player, I think, is going to be DeAndre Swift.
I like that.
So MVP of the division or the whole league?
Yeah, of the division, that is.
Okay.
So we're gonna do one for each division.
So I got the Lions in 4th place. I think they are absolute dog water with Jared Goff at the helm right now. Good thing they got rid of Matt Patricia. I don't know why the hell they had him for so long, or as long as they did. I got the Chicago Bears coming in at 3rd. I don't believe in Matt Nagy. I don't believe in Andy Dalton. I would start Justin Fields right away. I don't know why they're going to go with Andy Dalton. Probably I don't know why. He's going to groom Justin Fields maybe sitting behind him, but might as well just go with the upside now. You're not going to get anywhere with Andy Dalton. And then I'm going to go with 1st place for surprise. I got the Green Bay Packers winning the division. And then the Vikings coming in 2nd. For my MVP, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers, assuming that he plays. And then my breakout player is going to be Darnell Mooney. I really liked what I saw out of him. If Justin Fields gets in at quarterback, hopefully some balls could get thrown his way. Yeah, I stole yours. I love me some money Mooney. But I have a little bit of a hot take. I think the Packers would win this division with or without Aaron Rodgers, even if Jordan Love would start. I'm that confident. I think they have the best overall team, defensively and offensively.
I will say I think it would be kind of close, but I think that I would probably take the Vikings over the Packers in that situation.
Me too. And that's why I got it going. Without Aaron Rodgers playing, the Minnesota Vikings swap with the Green Bay Packers. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins as my MVP. And I'm staying. Yep. I think Kirk Cousins goes crazy this year with a second-year guy in Justin Jefferson and White Jesus over there and Adam Thielen. Dogs play on the outside. Mm-hmm. He does play on the inside, but that's not going to matter. I like that Vikings offense and the threat that they bring. Anytime you can't put 8 in the box and you can't leave guys one-on-one on the outside, what do you do in that situation? That's why I love Tennessee so much, because you're in a bad spot. So I got Kirk Cousins slinging this all over the yard, 4,800 yards, 30 some odd touchdowns. Mm-hmm. That's the MVP. And Mooney was my breakout.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with the basement that we all had. I got Lions 4th. I got Bears 3rd. But yeah, I am gonna put the Packers first just because I think they're too talented to not be first. And then 2nd, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. My MVP is going to be Dalvin Cook. All right. I think Dalvin, we saw what he could do last year. He stays healthy. He's going to be one of the best running backs in the league. My breakout player is going to be Cole Kmet, tight end for the Bears. Really talented tight end coming out of Notre Dame. And now he's got a shot at the starting tight end, and he's got an actual legitimate quarterback throwing him the football. So I think that'll help. But then again, Matt Nagy, I don't trust his offense, but I'm going to go Cole Kmet with the breakout player.
All right, so that's it for our NFC North. We're going to move on to the NFC South. So, Luke, if you want to go ahead and kick this one off.
All right. In last place, I have the Atlanta Falcons. I think this is probably going to be the last year of Matt Ryan in Atlanta. Third place, I got the Carolina Panthers. Sorry, Jake, I don't see Sam Darnold being as good as you think he's going to be. And then second place, I got the Saints. I think the Saints will make the playoffs. I do believe in Jameis Winston. I think he's a good fit in there. And defensively, they're not too shabby either. They have a good edge rush duo in Marcus Davenport and Cam Jordan. And in first place, I got the Bucks. They are the standard, brought their entire Super Bowl team back. As for my MVP, I'm actually not going with Tom Brady. I'm going with Devin White as my MVP. I think he's actually going to be the defensive player of the year. I think he's going to take that next step, be a top 10 player, just all of football. And then for my breakout player of the year, I might have to go with Marcus Davenport. You know what? I will go with Marcus Davenport. I loved when the Saints traded up with the Packers to draft him because they didn't draft Jair Alexander, and that's who the Packers ended up getting out of that trade. But I think he is going to have to take a step forward next season.
All right.
I'll go next. So I'm going to go with the Falcons in last place. I do agree with that. I just think they're in kind of a rebuilding period here. They might scrap the whole team and just trade Matt Ryan. But yeah, so I'm going to go Panthers in third. I do agree. I just think it's going to be an awesome division. And I think the NFC South has a potential to send 3 teams to the playoffs. You know what? No, wait, I'm going to flip them. I'm going to put Saints third because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Michael Thomas. I think that is going to be a big blow. So fuck it. I'm going to put Saints third, and I'm going to put the Carolina Panthers second because I think they're on breakout watch this year as a team. I think Matt Rule is definitely the head coach to lead this team to the playoffs. I love what he's doing down there. Joe Brady with that offensive system with Sam Darnold in it. You guys all know how I feel about Sam Darnold. And then, yeah, I got the Bucks winning it because I mean, defending Super Bowl champions bring the whole team back. They're going to be great again. MVP of the division. Let's see. I'm going to go Sam Darnold. I mean, I just think like he's going to be, I just have so much trust in him. Maybe a little bit. It might be delusional how much trust I have in him this year.
Oh,
but just with
looking
that
like it's delusional. I feel like we got to update him real quick. So we did some hot takes a little while back, right? And Jake's hot take was that Sam Darnold is going to be the MVP of the league this season.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's spicy.
That's how we
really, really hot.
Yeah. So very unpopular opinion. Very unpopular opinion. Yes. But I just think the fit he is in that Joe Brady system, the weapons he finally has around him that he didn't have in New York. I just think that he is in prime position to break out this year. And I do believe that his talent and his breakout potential was hindered a lot with Adam Gase and that Jets team, which was just a dumpster fire around him. There was no room to grow on that team at all. But yeah, so I'm going to go MVP Sam Darnold, and breakout player. I'm going to go Taysom Hill. Now I know Taysom Hill's already been like a very he's made his impact on that offense, but I think now that Drew Brees is gone, we're going to see kind of a combo of Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, a quarterback here for the Saints. I think Sean Payton's got way more up his sleeve. I think he gave him that 4-year, $40 million contract for a reason, because I think he knew when Drew Brees left, he had something special planned for Taysom Hill. This is his Swiss Army knife that he has just been dying to use with his offensive prowess.
All right, so what options I got? So I got Falcons, I got Carolina, I got Tampa Bay, and who? What am I missing?
Saints.
New Orleans.
Saints, right? So we gonna do, assuming, okay, so we know Thomas is out for half the season, right? Man, that sucks, man. And I think that's gonna impact the Saints a lot. So let's do Saints gotta be third. Saints gotta be third. No, they don't. Yeah, they do. Saints third. I'm gonna go Carolina second, and of course, Tampa Bay first. But it's interesting to say that because I think I got my breakout as Calvin Ridley. And when I say breakout, even though Calvin Ridley's last 2 seasons have been great, I say that to say this. I think he's going to lead the entire league in receiving yards and be top 5 in touchdowns this year. So when I say breakout, I mean breakout as in people are leaving the season saying, is Calvin Ridley top 5?
Yeah.
That type of breakout. It's going to be a lot of downs, a lot of more downs than ups over there, and Matt Ryan's just going to be slinging it all over the yard, and I think he's going to be the beneficiary of that. MVP, of course, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Okay, so that just leaves me then, and I feel like I might surprise you guys a little bit here. Not with bottom, because that's the Falcons, easy. We hate dirty birds here. At 3, I'm also going with the Saints. And that's Saints fans are going to be pissed off at me about it. I'm going to hear about it in the Discord. It is what it is. It happens. But losing Michael Thomas is a big hit for us. Last season when we didn't have Michael Thomas, we had Emmanuel Sanders to fall back on. We don't have that guy that's like, okay, we can get it to this guy and everything will be fine. We even had Jared Cook, who, we had some confidence in. He's not there anymore. Yeah. So it's gonna be rough. I've got the Panthers in second. I do think that they're going to take a big step up this season, not necessarily at the hands of Sam Darnold, but that's neither here nor there. And then at number 1, I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At MVP, I'm also going to go boring with it because I learned not to bet against Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's going to be the MVP. And then for my breakout player, I went with something similar to you, OG, but I didn't go with Calvin Ridley. I went with that guy that's going to be the wide receiver 2 now in Russell Gage, because he's got some potential. He's been showing that even at the wide receiver 3, or when Julio Jones was out last season, he really stepped up and performed when they needed him to. And with as much as they throw that ball, obviously Kyle Pitts coming in there could take some of those receptions away from him, but I do think that Russell Gage has a big season ahead of him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised none of you guys went with Kyle Pitts.
I thought about it, but I went with
I thought
a little different.
He's got breakout potential, but
yeah. I wanted to go with a guy that isn't a rookie, a guy that's coming into this, or that's coming onto the scene that's been around for a little while,
Right. Like a second year guy, third year guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. So what did I got? What do I have? West?
Yep.
So I got what? Seahawks,
Rams, 49ers, and Cardinals.
Niners and Cardinals. This is probably the hardest division in football right here. This is the toughest division in football.
All 4 of these teams can make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. So this is going to be tough. But with this one, because it's so tough, I'm gonna start at 1.
Okay.
Because any one of these teams could surprise the hell out of somebody and be 1.
There's really not a wrong answer here. You can put them in whatever order, and I'd be like, that sounds about right.
It can happen. So, but I feel like a healthy 49ers team is right back where they need to be. And I feel like if everything goes according to plan, they should be 1. And then I got, this is so tough. Golly, man. So what I got? Rams, Cardinals, and
the Hawks.
Seattle.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go Seattle 2. Rams got that defense though, man. But that Cam Akers is gone. I'm gonna go Seattle 2, even though their defense is probably the worst out of all of these guys. I'm gonna go Seattle 2. I'm gonna go Rams 3 and Arizona 4. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to even say Arizona 4. That's crazy.
Because they are so good.
Breakout would have been Cam Akers, but he obviously ain't gonna be with us. So I'm gonna have to go with Raheem Mostert. Okay. I'm gonna go with Raheem Mostert. I think he's gonna get majority of the carries in that backfield, and if he can stay healthy, I can see him being top 5 in rushing with the way that they like to run the ball over there. So I'm gonna go with Raheem Mostert for breakout and Matt Stafford for MVP.
I like that. I'm gonna preface this off by saying I think every team in this division finishes with a winning record. That might not be likely, but I think they're just that good. And I think with the 17th game added on, I think we're going to see some weird things like that happen in the NFL.
I could see that.
Yeah. So I got the Cardinals in 4th place. I have them at 9 and 8. I just don't think they're there quite yet. I'm not sold on Cliff Kingsbury long term. I want to see some more things out of that Cardinals team. I got the Seahawks coming in at 3rd. Just because I don't like them defensively as much as some others. I think Jamal Adams is a little bit overrated as a safety. He's going to end up being the highest paid safety in the league at some point. I feel like he's more of an off-ball linebacker at this point. And then I got the 49ers coming in at 2. Like you said, I think a healthy 49ers team probably would have been, a top 3 seed last year had they been healthy. Probably got to move off Jimmy G at some point in the near future for Trey Lance. But, defensively, they're outstanding. Not in love with their secondary, but their front seven, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa.
It's going to make them better.
Oh,
it's going to make that secondary way better than what they showcase. So.
For sure. And then I got the Rams coming in at first. I think the Rams are going to the Super Bowl this year. I think they are that good just between I think they're going to have the best defense in football. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams. I can name a bunch of others. For my MVP, I'm going with Aaron Donald. I feel like that's an easy choice. He's the best. He might just be the best player, best overall player in football. And then my breakout player of the year is actually going to be Isaiah Simmons. Whether they play him at safety, whether they play him at linebacker, I think he's way too athletic to have sort of a letdown season in year 2. I think he's going to improve, especially with that pass rush duo that they have now in Chandler Jones. Hopefully Chandler Jones is there and JJ Watt. I think Isaiah Simmons takes a step forward.
I like that a lot.
I do too.
Mine's going to be similar, but just a little bit different. At the bottom in the basement, I have the Seahawks. That defense just doesn't give me a lot of hope. Obviously, I think they could make some improvements, but I feel like the other teams in that division have improved more. So that's why I have them so low. Like we've said, all these teams are great. All these teams have playoff potential. But I'm going to put them at the bottom. I've got the Cardinals at 3, just because there's some question marks. That run game is still a little bit sus to me. I don't think adding James Conner did a lot for them. Their defense, I feel like, can be good with Chandler Jones. At 2, I've got the 49ers. They come back healthy, and like OG said, I think they're right back where they were. They're able to do the things that they were able to do before, especially with the run game, which Kyle Shanahan has done so great with that committee, with Raheem Mostert and all those other guys that they've got there. Jimmy G, obviously, he's not going to be that guy that's super elite and he's going to go out and get you these comeback wins or anything crazy. But I think that he's serviceable enough that he can do the same thing that he did before and potentially take them on that Super Bowl run. And then I've got the Rams at number 1. Even after losing Cam Akers, I think that their running back situation is fine. And I think that Matt Stafford's going to show out and show the league what he's been capable of doing this whole time. For my MVP, I think I'm going to have to go with Matt Stafford. And then for my breakout player, I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk. I went with the second-year guy this time. Brandon Ayuk, I feel like, can take a step up and he can be the wide receiver 1 for them. I think he can kind of leapfrog Deebo Samuel, and he can be that guy that Jimmy G or Trey Lance, whichever, puts in a position to get the ball downfield.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's tough for my Seahawks, but it's fair to put them towards the bottom just because of how talented the other teams are. I'm going to go Cardinals at 4. I know this has got to be like the best division in football right now, just with how talented each of these teams are. It's insane. So this is not this might be, now with 7 teams in the playoffs, this might be the first division to send 4 teams to the playoffs. Like legitimately, yeah. I think that could happen with this division. But yeah, I'm going to go Cardinals at 4. Seahawks, I am going to put at 3. Just because that defense, I don't have a lot of trust in it. Offense is going to be great, but defense is a little shaky. I'm going to have the Rams in 2nd, just because I think that Cam Akers injury is gonna hurt them a little more than we think. And then I'm going to have the 49ers in 1st place in this division. They got everybody coming back healthy. They got Trey Lance. They got Jimmy G. So the quarterback, whatever one they go with, they're going to be fine. And I just really believe in that Kyle Shanahan coach team. I mean, they are insane on the offensive side of the ball. They got Nick Bosa coming back. That's a big addition to have back on your defense. Yes, they did lose Richard Sherman, but I really don't think they're going to miss a beat with those pass rushers. Mm-hmm. So for my MVP of the division, I am going to go with Matt Stafford just because of how much I think he's going to help that Rams offense. And then for my breakout player, I'm going to go Van Jefferson, 2nd-year receiver on the Rams. He really is that speed guy. I know they drafted Tutu Atwell, but he's short, and I really don't think he's going to do much. I think they overdrafted him a little bit. But Van Jefferson's that speed guy on that team. And with Matt Stafford now, that gives Sean McVay the opportunity to kind of unleash that speed guy on those deep routes and those post routes.
I like that. I was thinking about going with Tutu Atwell actually. So I like him as a flyer. I like him as that Tyreek Hill type.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, that just leaves you with the NFC East if you want to go ahead and start us off on that one.
All right. NFC East. The worst division in football. No offense. No offense.
Nice.
I'm gonna hurt you right off the bat, OG. I'm sorry, man. I gotta
get it out the way.
I gotta have the Eagles in last place. I just, man, that team, I just don't know. And then Nick Sirianni gives me nothing to just nothing to grab onto there. I don't know what's going on with him. His press conference gave me any indication, just zero confidence in that man. I don't know. He just doesn't look like he knows how to run a football team.
All the shots.
Wait, I just should have brought my bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. And then for the third, I'm going to have the Cowboys. Listen, I know they got a bunch of talent on paper. They got my boy Micah Parsons in the first round. But, I mean, until the Cowboys prove to me that they could be that playoff team, that team that we all think they could be with the talent that they have, I'm not going to put them up that high. I'm going to have the Giants in second. I really like what Joe Judge is doing with this team. I really believe in Joe Judge as a head coach. Really special teams guys don't get a lot of credit, but then John Harbaugh kind of put that to rest. John Harbaugh has kind of been that lead man for the special teams coaches that can be head coaches. And I think Joe Judge is the next one up for that. Very smart guy, super intelligent football mind. And I think with Daniel Jones has no excuses this year. This is it. No. Like, you got the weapons, you got Kenny Golladay, you got your number one, you got weapons galore. Saquon's coming back healthy. All right. You got that defense was really,
they didn't address that offensive line though.
I know. But I think, I don't think it's going to be as bad as we think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be last in the league. I think it's going to be competent, not terrible, but okay. Yeah. And then Washington, I got winning the division. I think Washington's got one of the best defenses in the league, period. And then, their offense is great. They got Antonio Gibson coming back for a second-year receiver. They got, what's the receivers? I could fucking blank on one name every episode. Terry McLaurin. I blank on one name every episode. Terry McLaurin coming in, yeah. And then you got Curtis Samuel. That was a big pickup in the offseason. So I think this team is going to be great. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. I think he's a better quarterback than they had all of last year. So I think he's going to be able to unleash that offense a little bit, because he is just he is the definition of fearless. Ryan Fitzpatrick. He would just toss shit up. He didn't give a shit if he's throwing 6 interceptions.
You ain't lying about that one.
Yeah.
That's Jameis Winston Sr.
Yeah, it's going to happen. He's going to make it happen.
I'll go second.
And then for my
Can I go second?
Okay,
go ahead. MVP?
My MVP of the division. Listen, I am going to have Dak as my MVP of the division, just because I think he's going to put up a lot of yards this year. And then I'm going to go with a second Cowboy for my breakout player. I know I have them third, but it's mostly because of their defense. Yeah. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb. Yeah. Breakout player, because they came out and said that he was playing in the slot last year a lot, and now they're going to put him on the outside and really let him shine, especially with Dak. He had Andy Dalton as a quarterback for most of last year. So CeeDee Lamb, second year, understands the offense more. I think he is going to. I thought he was the most talented receiver in the draft last year. Can't believe he wasn't taken first. I think he's going to show us why he's going to be a top 5 receiver in the future, because CeeDee Lamb is
no doubt about that, man. Man, you hit it on the head. But to me, if I had to adjust them, of course, to soften the blow, I'm gonna just skip over 4th and act like we didn't talk about it. But third, I'm gonna go with the Giants. I get what you're saying about Judge, but I just think the offensive line issues may cause them to be in the same place that they were last year. I don't care who you are.
That's fair.
If you don't have time in the pocket or lanes to run through, you will not be successful in this league. Games are won in the trenches, which is why I got Washington second, because I believe they got the best defense arguably in the NFL. And although they have that great defense, I don't know how I feel about Fitzpatrick, because it seems like Fitzpatrick only succeeds when he's not expected to. Now he's got expectations, and that's when he usually decides to turn into Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, when he's in a backup role and he gets tossed into the game, he's Fitzmagic. I think he'll be Fitzpatrick next year. even with that being said, of course, that would inevitably put the Cowboys at number one. They got just way too much talent. And if they get just something from their defense, they should be able to carry the load offensively with a healthier offensive line, Tyron Smith healthy, and all of these guys healthy on the offensive line. Ezekiel Elliott looks amazing in training camp. I mean, he looks like he's been taking great care of himself. Dak Prescott looks good. He's up, he's moving, he's walking, like you say, CeeDee Lamb. They still got what's the guy they had last year playing on the outside? Can't think of his name right now. No, Mark Cooper's the ex.
Michael Gallup.
Michael Gallup. Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do with him, if they're gonna put him in the slot or have another speedy guy coming in the middle. But the CeeDee Lamb playing the outside is tremendous. So I got the Cowboys taking a division with my MVP being
Jalen Hurts.
Maybe.
I like that. But as bad as I want to pick two Eagles, I just won't show that type of bias right now. My MVP is going to be Ezekiel Elliott, because I think they lean a lot more on Zeke this year, and I think Zeke showcases what he was in his rookie year, sophomore year, junior year, and he gets back to that. He's in great shape. And my breakout, I got Antonio Gibson. Hopefully they take the ball out of Fitzpatrick's hands, because that's the only way this is going to work. If they run the ball and play defense. If you allow Fitz to throw the ball all over the yard, he's going to throw you out of a lot of games. So run the ball, play defense, make that veteran make timely plays, and feed the beast and Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson was such a fantasy darling for me last year. Oh my goodness! Remember, didn't he have a 4-touchdown game against Dallas on Thanksgiving?
And that was against me. Somebody had him in my league.
That is tough. So sorry, OG. I do have Eagles coming in last place in the division. I actually don't even think they win a divisional game. That would be 0-6.
We gonna beat the Giants.
Maybe you'll beat the Giants, and the Giants I have coming in at third.
Something's telling me we split with Washington too. I don't know. That's just my gut feeling. Washington. I think the Cowboys. We split with the Cowboys and Washington sweeps us. We get a game. I think we beat the Giants. We split with the Giants. We split with the Cowboys, but Washington sweeps us.
Washington does have that defense, though.
It's just crazy.
Crazy.
I know we were just talking about Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt, but Chase Young and Montez Sweat are the best pass rush duo in the league, in my opinion. I know there's a bunch of others like Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, for example, but I think just they have the upside. They have the youth on that team. Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, that whole front seven is just ridiculous. Jamin Davis, too. So crazy. I have them coming in second. I actually think two teams make the playoffs in this division. I think Washington makes the playoffs. But then I do have the Cowboys coming in first. I think Dak Prescott leads the league in passing yards. In fact, I actually think he breaks the passing yards record this season with that 17th game added on. He was on pace to break it last season. I think he does it this year.
Got everything you need to do it.
Exactly. As two number one wide receivers in Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. My MVP is going to be Dak Prescott for the reasons I said. I think he's going to, this is going to be the season where he's, pushed into those maybe top 5 quarterback talks. I don't think Dak gets nearly enough respect. Breakout player of the year is Taylor Heineke, right?
Yeah.
I loved what I saw in that one game sample size against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What he showed in that playoff game was enough for me to be like, okay, they have something in him. You don't just show up in a random playoff game like that and almost,
Nick Foles. You can show up in a random playoff game.
Nick Foles was there for a while.
Nick Foles showed up in a random playoff series. Yeah.
Nick Foles had one of the best touchdown to interception ratios of all time before he started that Super Bowl. But
that was one year.
But
that was the Chip Kelly year where nobody knew that offense yet.
Exactly.
He showed me enough. I think he's gonna end up becoming the starter at some point in the season. I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick is that much better than him. That being said, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I really do. I like the football team. I like the Cowboys. I can't wait till we don't have to call them the football team anymore. I'm over it.
Yeah,
what do you think they're going to do?
They need a name.
I'd like the Red Wolves. Red Wolves.
I love the Red Wolves too.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think they're going to stick with the red team?
That's what I'm saying. I thought they was gonna stick with football team.
They're
That's what I
sticking with
heard.
it. They're sticking with it for another season. And then after this season, they've been listening to fans and this and that. And they've got a list of names they've been considering, I guess. The football team is
Red
one of them.
Wolves.
They could
Right, that's what I
potentially
said.
stick with them. But I like the Red Wolves. I hope that they don't stick with the football team personally, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
How did the Cleveland Indians come up with a team name before they came up with? They announced it after them, like way
the
after
team
them,
name is
and
dope.
then
The
they
Guardians.
outsourced it.
I like that.
Yeah, they outsourced it. They got the fans' opinion. They chose a name all within a year. Like Washington's taking 2 years for this shit. Just pick something.
It was in the news
Yeah.
like 6 months ago that the Indians were going to rebrand. Now they've already announced it. They've got a logo. They've
already
got
done it.
everything already
And
set.
they got
ready to
down
go.
and dirty with it. They didn't mess around with it. Washington, I don't know what the hell they doing.
All right. So I guess that just leaves me. I'll go ahead and get into it. OG, I'm sorry. 3 for 3 with the Eagles at the bottom. I apologize.
4
4 for 4.
Well, yeah.
I have them too.
But I think it's just the age of that team mostly. I feel like you've got a lot of guys that are starting to get up there in age, and that's why, you know, the talent's going to start to deteriorate in some areas. I feel like you've got some good young pieces and you could get better from here. I feel like you're not in a horrible spot, but that's why I have them at the bottom. Then in third, this might be a little surprising to you guys because I think all of you had them higher than this. I've got the Washington football team in third. I think that offense is going to be a little rough, like OG was saying, with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. I feel like they've got all the talent in the world and they have the potential to do something with it. But the quarterback situation scares me as much as I love Fitzmagic. In second, I have got the Dallas Cowboys. I think that offense is going to be really explosive. They're going to be pretty much the opposite of the football team here, where that defense worries me a lot. They have some guys that if they step up, they could be very, very good, but that secondary is just a little suspect. And then in first place, that leaves the Giants. And I know that O-line is, you know, really, really questionable, but I feel like they're in a similar situations like I was talking about with the Saints earlier, where they've got some young guys who, if they step up, that offensive line could be fine because they've got I'm like trying to.
You believe in Daniel Jones. Listen, I believe in Fitzpatrick more than I believe in Daniel Jones.
But in similar to what Jake was saying, though, we had a conversation about this before we started recording or anything. It's not as much that I believe in Daniel Jones as it is that I believe in Joe Judge and what he's trying to do there and the way that I think that he can rally those players. And I know you're not going to agree with me, but I'm going to go with it. And I think that
I got a question for you. I need this question answered. What is the Giants' identity? Who are they?
I think that they're able to find. I feel like they started to find that later in last season, because I feel like although that defense was rough early in the season, similar to the Packers, toward the latter half of the season, that defense started to play very well. I mean, they were competing with the Buccaneers. So that defense, I feel like, is heading in a really good direction already. Defense wins championships. I'm not saying that's where they're headed, but I feel like the offense is in a position where if it improves even slightly or gets better, Daniel Jones improves a little bit, the offensive line isn't completely abysmal, I feel like they can win enough games to win in this division.
You just listed a lot of things that had to go right in order to win this division.
Because it's mostly because of the division that it is too. And I think that this division as a whole is improving. But
the Giants at 1, I'm not mad at you, but I don't know what their identity is. I don't know. Are they going to be a run first team? Are they going to run the ball and play defense? Are they going to be a pass heavy team with Danny Dimes and try to get Galladay the ball?
Let me get to my MVP and my breakout.
Okay, go ahead.
My MVP is going to be Dak as well. I think that Dak Prescott has a very good season. I don't see any reason that he wouldn't. And I think that my breakout player is going to be John Ross. And that might be questionable as well. But I think John Ross is he's going to solidify himself as more than just a speed guy.
Who's got John Ross?
Giants.
No
I think
doubt.
So I think that Kenny Galladay is obviously going to be the first option for them. And I feel like he's going to be that go up and get it kind of guy. But I think that John Ross is going to be that speedster that Daniel Jones can depend on for maybe some some yards after catch and stuff like that. So I feel like he's got the pieces around him. I've never been Daniel Jones lover or anything like that. I've, hated on him my fair share with his turnovers and everything. But I think that Joe Judge is the guy that's going to turn it around for them.
Joe Jiggity Judge. You got a lot riding on you, Joey. You got to come out here, baby. You might have to strap it on and come out there your damn self and play a down or two. Like, you got a lot riding on Joe Judge. Look, I have zero confidence in Danny Dimes. I don't even think he can get John Ross the ball. Like, I don't know. Maybe he takes a developmental leap that I didn't see. I didn't see any type of trajectory. I don't know if they have an identity. I think Washington and Dallas have identities. We know who they are as football teams, and I think that's important when evaluating success. If you don't have an identity, how the hell are we gonna know who you are? If we don't know, as viewers don't know who you are, I doubt they do. Like, what are they trying to do coming into the season? Are they a running team with a bad offensive line? Are we gonna hand the ball off to Saquon 25 times a game? Are we gonna try to get Galladay the ball? Are we going to try to get Ross the ball in his spots?
I also feel like that's a lot of that's situational as well, though, because you got to consider the coaching. What I'm saying over the past few years, as far as the direction that they've been heading with between the switching coaches and the switch from Eli Manning to Daniel Jones, and they've been trying to figure that out. And I feel like if there's a time to do it, they're getting to that point now where they're like, okay, this is the direction we want to go with it. We're confident in Joe Judge as our head coach right now. We've got Daniel Jones. We've put the pieces around him for him to be able to perform if he's going to be able to perform. So if there is a season that they're going to take it and they're going to be like, okay, we can win the division right now, I think it's going to be this season, because I think after this season with the Cowboys building that defense some more, I think the Cowboys can win it like maybe a few years in a row going forward.
Oh, I get you.
I mean, we've seen similar things with like Josh Allen improving in year 3. Nobody saw that monumental leap that he would take. That being said, I also have zero faith in Daniel Jones. I think this season is going to go as well as his 75-yard touchdown run what should have been.
It's like Casper.
Should have been a touchdown run.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. I think you're right, OG. They don't really have an identity. I think they're building one, like you said, Gage, definitely through their defense. At the latter half of the season last year, they did improve and had a chance to win the division even. I don't know who they are offensively, like you said. I don't know if they're going to be a run pass team or a run first team. I just wonder how many interceptions is Daniel Jones going to throw just because he thinks he could throw it up to Kenny Galladay and he'll catch it every time. I wonder how many, and it's going to fall flat. I wonder how many picks he's going to throw.
30 season. Ryan Fitzpatrick is Jameis Winston Sr. and Daniel Jones is Jameis Winston Jr.
Yeah, now we get to see if Kenny Galladay's success was predicated off of Stafford or can he do it with Danny Nichols?
Mm-hmm.
We're about to find out.
Danny Nichols.
It's going to be an interesting season for this division.
No doubt.
Man. All right, OG, what's a crazier take? Sam Darnold winning MVP of the NFL or the Giants winning this division?
Sam Darnold being in it.
Thank you.
Damn it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's not even a question.
No doubt.
Right.
Sam Darnold.
What if I say Sam Darnold being in the MVP conversation?
Hell no. That means you have it. No, I
Yeah.
I can't. I mean,
no, don't even fathom it.
He's like trying to find a way to.
I'm trying to find a way to fit Carolina. They can sneak up on you. You know what I mean?
That's
So
what I'm
it's
saying.
like they got some offensive firepower. They can sneak up on you, and then next thing you know, conversation. That is tough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I don't know, man.
About
Is it a possibility? Who knows? Maybe he was being held back in New York. So
The Adam Gase effect.
I think he was.
The crazy guys.
Yeah, maybe he was being held back, and maybe we see a guy that we thought we was gonna see coming, straight out of college into the draft. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could think about like 40 different players that I'd take to win MVP over Daniel Jones.
All right. But that was a little crazy, okay? Because you said Jordan Love has a better chance of winning the MVP over Sam Darnold. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah. Why not? Aaron Jones out of the backfield, the best receiver in football. Come on.
Did you hear the reports about Jordan Love from training camp last year?
Hey, that was last year. We haven't even seen him play yet. Haven't even seen him in a preseason game.
He said that was last year.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. It's gonna be a spicy year, man. A lot of guys got a lot to prove.
Can't come soon enough.
I'm more on the Sam Darnold awareness train. Like, I want people to be aware that Sam Darnold can, because when I don't think it's crazy that we're halfway through the season and the Panthers are 6-2. Cause I think they have breakout potential to be that team that takes the next step. Cause I think Teddy Bridgewater was holding them back because he's not a guy that takes chances. But when you have DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, you got to take chances with those guys.
Didn't they add D.D. Westbrook too?
No, I think D.D. Westbrook is, he's talking to teams. I think he's still a free agent. I don't think he signed with anybody yet.
I thought he signed. I could have sworn he signed. Okay.
Did he?
And Christian McCaffrey coming back too.
Yeah, they got CMC.
Christian McCaffrey coming back too. I just think that this Carolina Panthers could be, oh no, he signed with the Vikings. Vikings.
Oh, he's Vikings. Okay.
Today,
okay.
actually.
I knew he went somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think the Carolina Panthers could sneak up on a lot of people. And I don't think it's crazy that Sam Darnold could be playing well because he's a very talented quarterback that I think was held back a lot.
At the beginning of the show, I know we come into an end, but at the beginning of the show, you guys asked me if I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do have a question now that we, got into this in this conversation. Skip just divisions. Who do you guys think will win the MVP and break out throughout the entire league? I want to know each and every one of you guys who you think will be, the MVP, and also who's breaking out, second, third, fourth year guys. It don't matter.
Like the actual MVP of the NFL.
Yeah.
MVP of the entire league.
Okay.
For me, I'll go first.
Okay.
For me, okay. For me, MVP, I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson. I just think the favorable schedule that the Baltimore Ravens have, I would not be surprised if they only lost 3, maybe 4 games tops all season long. And Lamar Jackson is out for blood. They added Sammy Watkins. They got the second-year running back. They got Mark Andrews. They got Hollywood Brown. They got a great defense. Pretty much everything you need to be successful in the NFL, they have it. A dynamic quarterback that comes with that. So I got him winning the MVP twice in 3 years. And my breakout, I have DJ Chark. I believe
That's good. Yeah.
I believe DJ Chark will be in that same conversation as Calvin Ridley when the season is over with. Because I like, they're gonna be down a lot. And Lawrence is gonna have to throw the ball. And DJ Chark is gonna be on, the same reason why I believe Calvin Ridley can be, top 5 in receiving yards and touchdowns is the same reason I believe DJ Chark can be there too. I like what he brings to the table, underrated speed, 50-50 ball. He can go get it. I love DJ Chark's hands and his abilities, man. I big expectations for Chark this year for me.
Yeah, breakout player of the year for the entire NFL. I think I'm still going to go with Isaiah Simmons. He's just too athletic not to be like one of the best linebacker safety hybrid players in the league.
He is hybrid.
I still remember that interception against Russell Wilson in clutch moment. That was a terrible read by Russ, by the way, Jake.
Thanks.
And just kicking it down.
No, it was. I watched that play. I was like, Russ doesn't do shit. That was a Danny Dimes moment right there. That was like, what the fuck were you looking? It was like,
Danny Dimes moment.
And then my MVP of the league next year is Ryan Tannehill. He's been outstanding, way better than anybody could have imagined the past 2 years for the Titans. One of the best in terms of quarterback rating every year, touchdown to interceptions ratio. I think Julio Jones only adds to that. I know they got Derrick Henry there, but I don't really expect Derrick Henry to have, another 2,000 yard season, especially with the addition of Julio Jones. I think they're going to be more pass heavy than they were in previous years. So I'm going with Ryan Tannehill.
They got that Minnesota Vikings effect that I was talking about earlier. You can't put 8 in the box and you can't play them one-on-one. So what the hell are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Who's killing you today? Basically, you got to sign your name.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. For me, I think my MVP of the league, I think I'm going to go Matt Stafford. And I feel like a lot of people are saying that, and it might be overrating him just slightly, but I feel like if there was a time for him to do it, it's right now. I feel like he's got all the talent in the world. He gets all the praise in the world from other he's gotten a ton of praise from Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that, because I feel like he can play up to that type of level, maybe not as efficiently, but I feel like he's got a lot of arm talent and he's got the pieces around him more than ever to be able to do that. Obviously he had Megatron, but he didn't have much more other than that throughout his career. And then for my breakout player, this one isn't, I don't know how much of a breakout it can really be, but I think that Antonio Brown still has a ton of talent and a lot to tap into. And, you know, he's been that wide receiver 3 behind Mike Evans and behind Chris Godwin, but he was only with them for part of the season. And I feel like he's still got a lot to give. And I feel like he could even step up into that wide receiver 2, or maybe even that wide receiver 1 role for Tom Brady this season.
I like that.
Not bad. I like that a lot.
MVP. I'm gonna get away from the hot take. I'm gonna be a more reasonable MVP. I'm gonna, yeah. But no, I think Josh Allen has a really good chance to win the MVP this year. If we're being serious here. But breakout player. I'm gonna go to Oakland. I'm gonna say Henry Ruggs. I don't think Henry Ruggs was, I know he was injured in training camp. He kind of had that issue early on in the season, and then he kind of came in. I think that he really, he's a much better receiver than people gave him credit for, because he wasn't just that speed guy in college that just all he could do was speed. He really was like an all-around receiver with the speed in college. So I think he's going to bring that to the NFL at some point, and I think it has to be this year. He was the first receiver taken. I don't necessarily agree with what the Raiders did taking him first, but he was always in that conversation for the top 3 receivers in the draft last year, and I think for good reason. And I think he's going to show that this year, and I think he's going to get over 1,000 yards.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
that's not bad.
I do like it as Derek Carr's option 1. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Darren Waller's is his number 1 option, but Henry Ruggs definitely.
I mean, just receiver wise.
Receiver,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out again with us this week, TU crew. We really appreciate you guys showing up every week. We enjoyed this episode. OG, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And make sure that if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, that you leave a review, you leave a rating for us. Jake, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, definitely, guys. Thank you so much for listening. OG, of course, thank you so much. You're welcome back on anytime. Had a ton of fun with you this episode. Guys, Overtime Link, awesome app. Social media aspect meets sports scores. They have pools every week, totally free. It's basically betting, but without actual money. Super fun. I do it every week. Overtime Link will be in the bio of the TikTok for the Totally Unqualified podcast and our Instagram. So go check it out there. It does support the podcast, and we really appreciate it.
And make sure to go check out all of our TikToks, Instagram, join our Discord. And when I mean all of our TikToks, I mean all of ours. Football Fan Zone, Jake Maltese 3, Extra Points, and OgDaBeast, of course. Follow us on Twitter. I'm excited to get into episode 10 with you guys. Episode 9 was a doozy. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys in the next episode.